This conference will now be recorded.
So as part of this demo session, one second. So I welcome you all again for this demo session. So I will be your trainer. My name is Krushik. So I'll be your trainer for this course. I have around 12 years of experience in IT, specifically into automation and performance engineering. So before I actually begin this demo session, I would like to note down few points in terms of the agenda of what we'll be discussing today. So the first point is about what is performance testing, okay, and and how load runner tool will come into picture, okay. So the first point that we'll be discussing today is all about the performance testing and how load runner tool will come into picture. Second thing is second thing we'll be discussing is a small uh, um, a script, a small flow, like 2 or 3 steps. We will be recording through LoadRunner tool, okay, and we'll execute the script and see how it works and how it is recorded, and what kind of output it generates, okay. So script recording, and execution. Okay. So third point is the load runner architecture, because we will be learning this tool called load runner, right? So it's important to understand the architecture at a high level today. So that's the reason we will be discussing about the load runner architecture as well. The fourth thing is the course content, which I'll be sharing on the screen, and we'll be going through the course content. Fifth point is a Q&A. Okay. Fifth point is Q&A. So on a high level, these are the 5 points that we will be covering today as part of demo session. So without any delay, I would like to start the first point, that is performance testing. So basically, uh, I know most of you might be coming from functional testing background or automation background, or in fact completely new to IT, right? So let's assume that I have given you a task. Let's assume that I have given you a task, a small task. The task is something like uh, you should be able to verify whether the login is working or not. For example, take any application. Okay, take any application. It can be any application. So what we are verifying is, first thing is if the login is successful or not. Like whenever we enter username and password, are we able to navigate to home page or not? Okay, so how do we verify whether the login is successful? If the user is able to navigate to home page, then obviously the login is successful, right? So for example, here let's consider this one application, which is a sample application. So I enter some username and password here. You see, I entered some username and password here. Okay, and I clicked on login button, and I clicked on login button. So as soon as I clicked on login button, automatically it navigated to the home page. That is the login. After login, the home page got displayed. So this means the login is successful, right? So this means the login is successful. So as a as a performance tester, look, because we'll be discussing about performance testing. So as a performance tester, I'm not interested much about how it logins and what is the user ID password I entered and how it logins and all. I'm more interested in how much time it has taken to navigate to this page. Okay, so as soon as I enter the username and password, of course it navigated to this page. I'm more interested in understanding how much time it has taken to navigate to this page, or how fast this page has loaded, right? So that is where the performance tester is more interested about. Okay, so as a performance tester, we are more interested and we are more concerned about the application responsiveness. So how fast the page is loading, or how fast the user is able to navigate to next page, right? So let's say uh, now you guys can ask me, yeah, we can also calculate the response time, or we can also try to understand like how much time it has taken by just clicking by just starting a timer and clicking on the login button, and we can just stop the timer after the login page. But it works, but it works only for one user. For example, if I want to know how much time it has taken to navigate to this page, I can, before clicking on the before clicking on the login button over here, I can just start a timer and click on login button, and I can know how much time it has taken to navigate to this page. But what if I want to know how this application is responding, or how this login functionality is working, okay, or how fast this login functionality is working when, let's say, 200 or 300 users access this application at a time. You got my point? So when more number of users access the application at a time, how this application is responding, how the pages are loading, how fast the pages are loading, how fast the application is responding. So I'm more interested in knowing that. Okay, when more number of people access the application simultaneously, how the application is responding, that is where the performance tester is more interested in. Okay, and we manually cannot calculate or cannot uh, figure out how fast the application is responding, or how fast the page is loading, when 200 or 300 users access this application at a time. It is not possible directly. Okay, so there should be some tool which should help us in understanding or knowing how this application is behaving, or how this application is responding when more number of people are accessing this application, right? So here comes the performance tools, like it could be LoadRunner or it could be any other tool, right? So performance testing is all about finding out how the application is responding under some load, or under some load. Okay, when you say under some load, that means when more number of people access the application, how the application is responding, how fast the pages are loading. Okay, so that is what the performance testing is all about, right? So as I said, I cannot bring 200 or 300 people and ask them to sit in one place and ask them to log in. It doesn't work like that. So there should be some tool which should help us, right? It should help us in multiple ways. First of all, it should help us in simulating those users, and it should also help us in recording this or generating the script, right? So when I say 200 or 300 users access or log into this application at the same time, so how do they log in? So they need some script, or there should be some script which should be accessed by those users, or which should be run by those users. Okay, that script will also be generated, or should also be generated by the tool itself. Okay, so any performance testing tool should help us in multiple ways. Okay, in terms of generating the scripts, in terms of generating the users, and so on. Okay, so here comes our tool called LoadRunner. Okay, so uh, LoadRunner is also one of the performance testing tool. Okay, so it also helps us in multiple ways, which I'll explain you in some time now when we discuss about the LoadRunner architecture. But before going there, I would like to immediately launch the tool, or launch one of the component of the tool, and explain you how the script is getting recorded, and how to execute that script. So what is that script? Okay, what is that script that I'll be recording? The same flow, whatever I have executed now manually. For example, I launched this application. So this is the URL. Let's say this is the URL. I launched the application. Okay, and then I enter the username and password, and then I click on login button. So I want to know how much time it is taking for the login. login functionality. So as soon as I enter username and password, if I click on login button, how much time it is taking for me to navigate to the next page or the home page. And then immediately when I click on this sign off button, how much time it is taking to sign off or log out of the application, right? So for this, we need to record this script or generate the script for the same steps. Why we need to generate this script? Because that script will be run by multiple users simultaneously, right? So how do I simulate the real behavior, right? How do I simulate the real behavior? So first I need a script. First I need a script which I'll be able to record and generate, and then I should be able to run it with multiple users. Okay, so the first step is recording or generating the script for the same steps what we have discussed now: launching of the application, log into the application, and log out of the application. So here I can mention those steps. Launch the application. So whatever we have discussed, whatever we have executed manually, the same steps we will be recording through our LoadRunner tool, one of the component of the LoadRunner tool. So next step is login. The last step is logout. Okay, last step is logout. These three steps we will be recording or generating the script now, and then we'll be executing it. Okay, so go without any delay, I would like to launch one of the component of the LoadRunner tool called Virtual User Generator. That is called Vusion. We call it as Vusion. So how do you launch it and all? I will explain you in our upcoming sessions. How do you install it? How do you launch it and all those things? So this is the home page, or this is the home screen of the Vusion component. Okay, if you want to launch it, you need not do anything. You just have to, after installation, you just have to type Vusion and it appears there, and you have to click it. It will open the Vusion component. So this particular Vusion component is responsible for recording the script or generating the script. Okay, so let it launch quickly. So as soon as you launch it, this is the home screen again. So because we want to create or generate the new script, I would like to navigate to File option here, and then click on New Script and Solution. Okay, click on New Script and Solution, and we will be discussing this web protocol. Okay, so web HTTP HTML protocol is the option that I selected. We have multiple protocols, but we'll be discussing this. And then I would like to create a new folder. So let's say I will create a new folder. Okay, I created a new folder. Okay, where is it, man? Okay. Okay, I created a new folder. In that folder, I'll be creating a script called demo. So here, this is the script path and this is the script name. This is the script path and this is the script name. This is the protocol I have selected. And then the solution name, solution target, you can ignore for time being. Okay, and click on create. As soon as you click on create, the script editor window will populate, will appear. This is the script editor window. So this is where the script gets generated. Okay, and you have the solution explorer here where you have different options. Okay, so which we will be discussing in detail in our upcoming sessions. So for time being, we will be clicking on this record option. Okay, there is a record option over here. So what this option helps us is to record the flow whatever we have executed manually. So whatever the flow we have executed manually just now, the launch of the application, login, and then log out, the same steps I will be recording now. So here, as soon as you click on record option, you will see this window where you will have different options. So for time being, you see that we are recording in the browser called Microsoft Internet Explorer. However, you can use different browsers as well, like Firefox, Edge, and all. I think Chrome should also be there, but for some reason Chrome is not getting displayed now. But we can add it. Now we can add it later point of time, no problem. So let's say that we are selecting or we are recording the application in the Internet Explorer, and the application URL you have to pass here. So you have to pass the application URL here. What is the application that you want to record, or for what is the application that you want to generate the script, right? That application URL you have to give here. So the application URL is this one, the localhost 1080 web2 index.html is the URL. And then you can ignore the remaining options for time being. Okay, and then click on start recording. Click on start recording. So before that, I would like to close the Internet Explorer browser. Okay, and then click on OK. So as soon as you click on OK, you see a movable window over here. This is a movable window. At the same time, you can see the Internet Explorer being launched with a given URL. You can see the Internet Explorer being launched with a given URL. Okay, and here you can see uh, there is a number which keeps on increasing, and which is a good sign actually. So that means when the number keeps on increasing, that means our tool is successfully able to record the application. Our tool is successfully able to record the application. Okay, so now what is the next step that we have to do? I clicked on start recording and I could see that there is a movable window over here. Okay, there is a movable window over here, and at the same time I could see the browser launched with the given URL. Now what is the next step? See, the first step is already done. That means the launch of the application is already done. What is the next step? The login. So before you enter username and password, there you have an option called start transaction. You have an option called start transaction. Okay, so this is the icon for that. Insert start transaction. So you should be starting this. Why you need to start this is because we need to know how much time the login functionality is taking, right? So how much time or how fast the login functionality is getting executed. So in order to know that, we need to start a particular transaction before we actually manually execute it, and then we need to end that particular transaction after completing the transaction. For example, here you see there is a start transaction. I'm going to start a transaction. I'm going to name it as login. And then click on OK. Okay, so here once I start the transaction, immediately I will go to username text box and enter username and password and click on login button. So because the login is done, what I can do is I can wait for a few seconds and then I can go and end the transaction. I can go and click this end transaction button. Okay, that means the login is done. So I'm just segregating the steps here. So in a way, I'm just segregating the login, log off, and the steps separately, so that I can track the response times separately. Okay. So here I'm going to end the transaction called login. Now, because the login is completed, what is the next step? I have to log out of the application. So if I have to log out of the application, the immediate step I have to do is go and start another transaction called logout. Go and start another transaction and name it as logout. Okay, so click on OK, and once you start the logout transaction, click on this sign off button. And then you can choose to end the transaction. Okay, and once you end the logout transaction, once you record all the steps like this, you can stop recording by clicking on this button. The other options on this movable window we'll be discussing in our upcoming sessions. So I'll be clicking on this stop recording button for now. So as soon as I click on stop recording, it is generating the script. Okay, now you see there is a recording report. Okay, for time being, I'll skip it and I'll go to this action tab. So here, as I said, this is the code that which got generated. I'll just zoom in. Okay, I'll just zoom in. So here you go. So this is the code which got generated, and observe carefully at line number 18. We were starting the transaction called login, and because in the movable window I have started or inserted a start transaction, right, for login and log off. So that those particular things, you can see in terms of script. LR underscore start underscore transaction called login, and you see line number 37, the login transaction is ending. So line number 18, login is started. Line number 37, login has ended. Okay, that means whatever the code or whatever the script that you are seeing here, this belongs to login part. Okay, and then you see, scroll down, and then you see line number 41, the logout transaction has started. The logout transaction has started. And if you see again, line number 53, the logout transaction has ended. Okay, so whatever the code that is residing here, that is present between the start transaction and end transaction of logout, this entire code or this entire these lines belongs to logout. These lines belong to logout code. Okay, now can anyone tell me where is the launch code by any chance? Because I don't see a start transaction for login and logout. By any chance, can anyone guess where is the launch transaction?
The URL,
Yeah. So
web
if you see,
URL.
yes. So basically, if you think practically also, before login, the launch transaction happens. Before login, the launch transaction happens. It is common for all the applications. Okay. So this is the start transaction of login. So before that, we do have a request which is specifically for launch, which is specifically for launch. So ideally, what I can do is I can copy this and paste it at line number 3 or 4 and rename it and saying launch. Rename it by saying launch. So this belongs to launch now. And at the same time, for end transaction also, I can go ahead and paste here line number 16. So why didn't we get this launch transaction by default? Why didn't we get this? Why didn't we get these two lines, this line and this line for launch? Why did we get for only for login and logout? Because as soon as I clicked on start recording, the browser launched itself by with the given URL. So when we didn't get chance to start a transaction for login, before I start a transaction itself, the browser launched with the given URL. So that's the reason anytime you will not be able to see the start transaction and end transaction for launch. You have to explicitly go and update these particular lines here. Okay, now I will make some minor changes. Okay, and then I'll directly run the script. Okay, and then we will see, what is the output. Okay, so here I'm going to run the script now. So let me run it. Let me go and check quickly. A couple of options. 1 second, I'll be changing. Just checking whether okay. Okay, let me run this. Okay, so I'm executing this script. So once I execute the script, I should be able to see the result. So here you see the launch transaction. It is passed. It took 0.63 seconds. The login transaction is passed. It took 0.339 seconds. The logout transaction, it took 0.32 seconds. So that means the launch functionality took 0.63 seconds. Login functionality took 0.33 seconds. So logout functionality took 0.32 seconds. Now I'm able to differentiate how much time each functionality or each step is taking. So this is the advantage of using a tool. Now this script, whatever we generated, I can run this script. I can run the same script with multiple users, like 200 users, 300 users, 1000 users, 2000 users, whatever it is. So what happens is when all those users simultaneously run this script, that means we are simulating a real-time scenario, like all the multiple users are trying to access the application and log into the application and then log out of the application. So and then we are trying to analyze how this application is responding. For example, for here, when I run this script, that is also for one user only. When I run this script here, whatever the results you are seeing, this is also for one user only. We did not apply the concept of running the script with multiple users yet. That's a different story, which we'll be discussing in our upcoming sessions. Okay, but what I want to convey is we have a tool that supports us to generate a script without much without much coding, or without a complex scripting or something like that. Okay, so we do have a tool which will help us in recording or generating the script. which we can run again and again n number of times by making some small changes or by enhancing the script. Okay, so how do we enhance the script? What are the prerequisites for enhancing the script? Okay, all these things we'll be discussing in some time now. So this is the tool. You can clearly see. Okay, you can clearly see this is how the response times are captured. When I say the response times, it means that how much time it is taking for each step or each functionality. Okay, for example, I can say that the response time for launch is 0.6 seconds. The response time for login is 0.3 seconds. Why I'm saying response time? Because basically, so let's say this is the login request, right? It goes to server. So this particular request will go to server and server will send the response back. So that's the reason we call it as response time. So how much time it is taking for the server to send the response back. So that's the reason we call it as response time. Okay, so now we understood how to generate a script and all at a high level, how to run or what this LoadRunner tool is all about, what is this component all about. But now we will be discussing about the LoadRunner architecture as well, which is very, very interesting and important as well. And I would like to explain you this concept, or I would like to, I would like to explain this concept out of some questions. Like I would like to derive the architecture diagram based on some questions. So let's discuss this first. Okay, so this is let's discuss the architecture. So let's say you have some application. Let's say you have some application. Let's say it's a bank website. Now I want to test this bank application. Let's say it could be HDFC or whatever it is. I want to test this bank application with 500 users. With 500 users. So that means I want to know how my bank application is responding or how my bank application is behaving when 500 users access the application at the same time. Right now, I cannot bring 500 people. I cannot bring 500 people, and I cannot give them 500 laptops or desktops, and I cannot ask them to log in simultaneously or log out simultaneously and see how it is working. I cannot do that. In fact, we can do that, but it is very, very uh, expensive. I still I can let's say we can manage with 500 users. But what if I want to test with 5,000 users? Can I bring 5,000 people and ask them to sit at a place, and can I give them 5,000 laptops and ask them to log in at a time so that I can verify my application performance? No, right? So for that purpose, we need a component. We need a component which should help us in generating or simulating these virtual users. Instead of bringing the real people and asking them to log in at a time or whatever the steps we want to do, we need a tool or we need a component which should help us in generating or simulating the virtual users. That component is called load generator. That component of the architecture is called load generator. These load generator are machines only, highly configured machines, okay, which are responsible for simulating the virtual users. Simulating the virtual users. Based on the load generator machine configuration, the number of users can be simulated. Let's say 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, whatever it is. So there is a component called load generator which is responsible for simulating the virtual users. Now we have a component which is responsible for simulating the virtual users. Now we need to have some scripts ready. We need to have some scripts ready so that these users can go and execute. The users are ready. Now that we need to have some scripts, like how we recorded and generated a script now, right? So we need to have some scripts so that we can go ahead and execute and find out how the application is responding. So that component for making which will help us in making our scripts ready or recording our scripts, okay, is called Vusion. The component which we have just seen like few minutes ago, how we launched and recorded the script, that component itself is called Vusion. Okay, it is responsible for generating the scripts. The next component, now we have the users ready. Now we have this virtual users ready. Now we have the scripts ready. Now we need to trigger the execution. We need to trigger the execution, like we need to execute those scripts, right? So for initiating the execution, we need to have a component that is called controller or performance center. This component is responsible for initiating the execution Okay, and it has some additional capabilities also, which we will discuss in our upcoming sessions. So this component on a high level will be responsible for or initiating the execution or triggering the execution. Okay, now we have users ready, we have scripts ready, we have a component for execution. Now after execution, we need to have some support where we can analyze our results, right? After execution, we need to have some support using which we can analyze our results. That component is called analysis. So this component is responsible for analyzing the results. Okay, and it is a very good component. It generates so many metrics, so many graphs for us. Based on those metrics and graphs, as a performance tester or engineer, we should be able to convey the information to client whether the application is performing well or not, right? So these are the different components of the load runner architecture at a high level: the load generator, the ViewGen, the controller or performance center, and the analysis. Okay, this is all about the load runner architecture, okay, at a high level. So I'll be explaining you again, there are a few more points to address related to this topic, which we'll cover as part of our upcoming sessions. So now, okay, now we are done with architecture also. What are the important components of the load runner architecture? Load generator, ViewGen, controller, analysis. Now quickly, without wasting any time, I would like to navigate to the course content. So before I explain the course content, I would like to take few questions from the topics whatever we have covered as part of today's demo session. So any questions do you have, or shall we go ahead and address all those questions after discussing this course content? Let's do one thing. Let's complete this course content as well, and then we'll see all the questions at a time. If you, in the meantime, if you have any questions, make a note of it, and we'll discuss again, in some time from now. So this is the course content document. Okay, so this course content covers from the basic concepts to the advanced concept. Okay, and this content is course content is designed in such a way that guys coming from non-IT background will definitely uh, understand and match the pace quickly, and they also generate the scripts, execute the script, enhance the scripts, execute everything, right? So it's for both, like, the guys coming from non-IT backgrounds and the guys coming from functional testing or automation testing background as well. Okay, so the first topic that we will discuss is the architecture basics and the introduction to performance testing. Performance testing process and life cycle, like the important concepts like proof of concept, non-functional requirements, test plan, workload modeling. Very, very important concepts in terms of interview as well. Okay, and then these concepts, these are the concepts which are common to the performance testing, like irrespective of the tool. Okay, and from here the actual load runner concepts tool concepts begins. So how to introduction of load runner, how to install it, what are the different components of load runner, how do we record and replay the scripts, what are the different features in the ViewGen tool that we have just seen, like while recording, and what are the best scripting practices. Okay, best scripting practices, and runtime settings. How do you want the script to run? Different runtime setting options are available. Okay, these are all important concepts, guys. And then you have some important concepts like HTML versus URL based recording, checkpoints. Checkpoints is something like assertions. Like if you know Selenium or any other tool or any automation tool, you might have the same concept like assertions or checkpoints or whatever it is. The same concept is here also. And then you have this concept called introduction to C language. Now most of you might have a question like why this is required, why C language is required, why the basics of C language is required. Okay, you need not, one point I want to make it clear before we start this course is you need not learn the entire C course or data structures, or not that level, guys. It's very simple. Only 3 days or 3-4 days sessions for this. You need to know the basics, like what are variables, what are data types, how do you write a if statement, how do you write a loop. Okay, how do you write a loop, how do you write a function. That's it, more than enough. Okay, So these are some of the basic concepts that we will discuss, and these C language concepts are required to enhance the script. Like whatever the script we recorded just now, the launch, login, log off. So sometimes we might need to enhance that script. We might need to enhance that script based on the steps that we get, right? So to enhance that script, we might need the help of a programming language. So here we will be using a C language because this is the most widely used language for load runner. It's been there since many years, and you have a good support forum as well. I can say that you know, for every problem you face with respect to load runner with C language, you have a solution, definite solution. Okay, so that's the reason we go with C language. And then some functions, some important functions we'll be discussing, okay, which are required to enhance the script as well. Couple of advanced concepts I have covered, like how to write some data into some notepad file, okay, how to read data, what are the real-time challenges you get. This is in terms of interview perspective, because when you go to interview, they will ask you what are the challenges that you faced while scripting. That's the most common question. So that is being addressed as part of this course for sure, with some examples. And then you have the most important concept, which is called as correlation. So this is very important. I can say that without this concept, you cannot do scripting at all. Without this concept, you cannot do scripting at all. So it is that important. So then you have something called parameterization, and this correlation concept will cover for 4 to 5 days. That means 4 to 5 sessions. Then we have parameterization. The parameterization is all about the test data. How do you pass the test data? Because as a performance testers or engineers, we work with bulk data, right? Huge amount of data, right? So when we want to test the application with huge amount of data, we need to pass some test data to that. So how do you pass test data to the script is all about parameterization concept. Then you have the controller or performance center is all about the triggering the execution. How do you upload scripts? How do you execute? How do you trigger the execution and all those things? So again, and there are different scenarios there. And how do you trigger the execution? What are the different metrics you analyze while execution? All those things. And then you can see the concept of monitoring graphs in controller. How do you monitor different graphs? Okay, and then once the execution is completed, how do you analyze the results? Because at the end of the day, client wants to see only the results, right? And how will you convey the results, the better it is for everyone. Because uh, as a performance tester, it is very important for us to convey the results accurately, okay, and inform the client that what happened exactly during the execution. So this analysis component or this analysis, it helps us in summarizing the results and creating a results, and it helps us in understanding the different graphs. Okay, it gives us various metrics in terms of graphs, so we can go through the graphs and analyze those graphs and then convey our results to the client. Okay, so we will have a couple of sessions on this analysis as well. And then you have the next concept called analyzing results and providing observations. Why we have a separate concept for this is, see, basically every performance tester or engineer, after execution, they have to collate all the results, and then they have to draft an email and send to client. So collating the results and sending an email is very important. So that's the reason I have added as a separate session. So I will be drafting a complete email on how to send or how to collate different results, how to draft an email with all the results, okay, how to send an email to client as well. And then we have couple of sessions for mock interviews. Like I will be asking questions on the topics that we have covered, and we will be discussing on the most frequently asked interview questions, and at the same time we'll also try to discuss the out of box questions as well, okay, which will definitely help you to clear interviews going forward. And then some of the additional topics which we'll cover is Fiddler tool and R file scripting, and and the APM tools introduction. So APM application monitoring tools. Okay, and I will be explaining you one of the tool called AppDynamics. One session, I'll be taking one session. At a high level, I'll explain you what are the different metrics that you, what are the different metrics that we verify as part of this tool. Okay, so it is very, very important. These tool APM tools are very, very important, and that's the reason I would like to add this topic as a bonus topic for this for the load runner batch, because I want them to know, I want them to understand what is this tool about and what are the various metrics we fetch and how do we collate these metrics with the analysis metrics and send it to client. Okay, and then we will be practicing, or we will be working on various UI applications. Okay, like 4 or 5 UI applications we'll be practicing for scripting. And then sometimes you might also work on web services in your projects. So for that purpose, um, we will be providing you like 2 to 3 hours of recorded sessions for web services, which is very, very worthy. The Kumar sir himself recorded the sessions. So it will be very useful for you guys if you want to work on web services as well. At the same time, so a couple of students asked me like whether you will be covering any other protocol or not. So I will take one session on TrueClient protocol as well. Okay, I will take one session on TrueClient protocol as well, which is again very, very important protocol. Okay, so this is the course content, entire course content. So now I will open the session for Q&A. Okay, I request everyone to post your questions. Any question, it could be any simple question. Okay, it could be related to course content, it could be related to course duration, it could be related to any of the topic, whatever it is. If you are unable to unmute yourself on anything, you can just post your questions in the chat window as well. I will address those questions. I unmuted everyone. Can someone try and ask a question one by one? Yeah. Okay.
uh,
Yeah, please. One second. One second. Yeah. Okay. So first, I will take these questions in the chat window. So first question is: are we getting recorded session? What will be the course duration? So one second. So the course recorded sessions you will be getting daily. So as soon as the session is completed, because this is 9 p.m. IST batch, right? So 9 p.m. Indian time. So you will be getting the recorded session by next day afternoon for sure. Okay. So every day morning you will be getting the recorded session of the previous day. Okay. And then course duration is 30 sessions, 30 plus sessions. Minimum 30 sessions will be there, and it can exceed like 2 or 3 sessions more, or 3 or 4 sessions more also, no problem. It depends on how we complete, or how fast we are able to, how fast you guys are able to practice, and how fast we'll be able to complete the interview questions. Because I told you that interview question answers is 2 sessions. Sometimes it will take for 3 or 4 sessions also, depending on how the participation will be. If you ask more number of questions, like the interview question and answers will be, it can take 3 or 4 days also. So minimum 30 working days. Beyond that, it will be like few days more if required. One next question is how to install. We will guide you once you register. We will guide you, Vinay. No problem. How to install for Linux? It doesn't support Linux as of now. There are some issues. It doesn't support Linux as of now. You have to install in Windows OS. Is this course enough to get placement in testing performance testing profile? See, this course is designed in such a way that it will definitely help you to crack the load runner interviews. That's the reason if you see the course content, we have added one or two sessions for APM tools as well, and one or two sessions for other protocols as well, right? So This will definitely help you, but you know, it's same thing, like same like any other course. You know, the participation from your end should also be there. Like you need to give some time, like 1 or 2 months, to practice completely. Okay, master scripting, practice all the interview questions. Okay, understand all the interview questions, understand the concepts, not just practicing. Understand the concept, that will help you to crack the interviews. So your participation is very, very important. So if you participate and practice for a couple of months, definitely you'll be able to crack interviews. Okay, we have our students who cracked so many interviews. I don't want to take names, as such, but with your participation, with your practice, it will definitely help. Simply going through the recorded sessions doesn't help, to be frank. Even though if I explain you the practical sessions from my machine, if you don't practice, it doesn't help much, right? So your participation is very, very important. Okay, and then how to download? Yeah, we will guide you, Satya. We will guide you how to download and install the trial version, all those things. What is the price structure of this course? I request you to reach out to Kumar sir, uh, Kashyapi. I request you to reach out to Kumar sir, or you can post it in the WhatsApp group as well. uh, I think I'm just assuming that it is 7. If you are paying in INR, so I think it is some 7,500 or something. Okay, can you check it? I just don't want to comment on it, but I want you to check with Kumar sir on that. They will be able to help you on the price structure. Okay, so do we have any other batches other than 9 to 10 IST? Yeah, a morning batch is in progress, Rasika. So morning batch is in progress. It will complete in about 10 days. Not 10 days, I'll say 2 weeks. It will complete in about 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks the morning batch will start. It is from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. daily. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. IST, Indian time. Okay, how many protocols cover in this course? So basically, uh, we will be covering the scripting part for web HTTP HTML protocol, because you see most of the applications are web based nowadays, and the very base protocol for those web applications is web HTTP HTML protocol. So that we will be covering as part of this course. As I said, the web services will also be shared to you, the recorded sessions. At the same time, I'll be taking one more session for TrueClient as well. As I said, I'll be taking one session for TrueClient protocol as well. So if you know if you understand or know 2 or 3 protocols, that is more than enough to go to any interview. Okay, so what are the prerequisites to practice? Nothing. No need to have any prerequisites. Just attend the session, practice the same. That should be sufficient. If you have any doubts, I will be available on WhatsApp. You can reach out to me with your issues. Okay, or you can call me. If you have any issues, you can send the screenshot anytime. I can check the screenshot and send you, update you about the issue, how to fix it and all. If it is very urgent, you can call me anytime, like in sense from morning to evening. Okay, so I'll be able to guide you in terms of fixing the scripts. Okay, and understanding the concepts as well. Mac, it's not working, Tushar. Actually, there is some issue. So for time being, you can try in Windows machines. Yes, this course will definitely help you in real time. uh, you will be, after completing this course, you will be able to, if you are given any performance testing project or application, you will be able to handle the complete project on your own. That is for sure. Right from starting to ending, you will be able to handle the project on your own. Okay, so and while discussing the scripting, I will be giving you some tasks to complete, and I will be taking your help in completing the scripts from my end as well, so that the participation will be there. Okay, when the participation is there, then it is easy for everyone to understand. sometimes I might ask you to share the screen and start scripting from your end. I will be there on the call, and like that, we can learn scripting, okay, easily. What type of openings we can apply after doing this course? Only performance tester? Yes, obviously. This tool is all about performance testing, the LoadRunner tool, and so whatever the openings you see on performance tester, you can go ahead and apply. If the performance testing opening is on LoadRunner, definitely you can go ahead and apply. No, Dwarka. Dwarkanada. This course is only LoadRunner. This is not a JMeter course. So if you want to learn JMeter course, there is a separate course. You can just check with Kumar sir about the JMeter course. Okay. These two are two
Okay,
different
thank you, sir.
tools. Okay. Will we cover performance center? Yes. No, we cover the controller. Okay, which is quite similar to performance center. The options whatever you see on controller are very much similar to performance center. Okay, so we'll be covering the controller as part of this course. So Satyabrata, my number I will ping in the WhatsApp group now after this session. In some time now, I will ping in the WhatsApp group. You can reach out to me. Okay, if you have any questions or if you need any further clarification, you can reach out to me. Anyone. Yeah. You have already bought Kumar Gupta's course on Udemy. How much was? See, that is different, entirely different. Uh, Going through a recorded session is different. Attending a practical session, live session is different, right? So if you see, I can say that you can go through any recorded session, but you will not be able to get the doubts clarified. So when we are discussing in live, the training session is in live, you can clarify all your doubts, right? And after this training also, I will be available on the same WhatsApp. Okay, anytime you can ping me. Okay, in fact, there are few students who are in touch with me since 2 years also over WhatsApp. They have completed the course. They started working on performance testing projects. So now and then when they face some issue and any new issue, they keep on, they reach out to me. And if it is very urgent, they'll call me, or if it is not urgent, they'll try to send the issue over the WhatsApp. I'll definitely reply whenever possible on the same day itself. So it's not like our journey will end after this course. Whenever you need any help on with respect to LoadRunner course or with respect to performance testing, you can definitely reach out to me anytime after the course also. Okay.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Is there any sheet which I have all bullet points on LoadRunner, user controller analysis? The course content document which I have shared it, right, Vinay? Isn't it sufficient? Or if you want, I can share it. But anyhow, our sessions will start from tomorrow, right? So so basically, once you start attending the session, you will be understanding like what are the different points that will cover as part of controller analysis, ViewGen, and so on. Will LoadRunner alone fetch us a performance tester job? Good question. So sometimes what happens, according to the current trend in the market, only LoadRunner might not help you, might not help you. There are different cases. So I'll tell you what happens. So first thing is, as part of our course content, that's the reason I'm trying to cover the APM tool App Dynamics as well. That is also very, very important. I'm trying to cover 1 or 2 sessions on it. I cannot take 10 or 15 sessions on APM tool, App Dynamics, but I can definitely help you. But I can definitely take 1 or 2 sessions. And in those 1 or 2 sessions only, I can clearly tell you what are the different metrics that we have to fetch, or what are the points that we cover as part of APM tool App Dynamics, okay, in our day-to-day work. Okay, that is one thing. And now, what happens is sometimes, let's say you are attending any service-based company interview. Okay, there's a difference between, there's a difference in terms of interview, or whether only load runner is sufficient or any other tool is sufficient or whatever it is. So let's say you are attending a service based company okay, interview. So they will be hiring you for some client. Okay, they will be hiring you for some client for some project, and that project is specifically on load runner. Now they will see only load runner skills in you. They will not ask you any other tool or any other, you do you know two tools or three tools, doesn't matter. They will see you, they will see how good are you with load runner, because the project you will be deputing, you will be working on is on load runner. So they will see how good are you with load runner. If you know very basics of other tools, that is very well and good. Okay, but at the end of the day, what is the project, what is the tool that you will be working on is important when you are attending service based interviews, service based company interviews. That is true. Sometimes what will happen, some other companies, they will try to ask, ask, or they'll try to uh, uh, you know uh, they'll try to ask, like, do you know load runner, do you know JMeter, do you know app dynamics, do you know Dynatrace? They'll try to ask multiple tools. So there are some companies like that, I'm not denying that. But if you are attending any service based company, I'm sure they'll be asking you only most of the load runner questions only. And load runner tool, one APM tool should help you crack the interview, should help you crack the interview. But in some cases, very rarely, they might ask you multiple tools, okay, which I'm not denying. So it's always better to learn multiple tools, but one by one, not at a time. Don't don't travel on multiple boats at the same time, right? We all know this. So learn one tool by one tool, right? So for example, if you master load runner today, in 1 month, next month, after 2 months, you learn JMeter. It's good for you only, right? So it's good for you only. So begin with one tool, it can be any tool. Begin with one tool, master it, and then go to another tool. Right? It's simple concept. Okay. And uh, how many years of experience, work experience that I might get after learning this course? Definitely, you can put like 2 to 3 or 4 years of experience, 3 years of experience easily. And if you want to keep 5 or 6 years of experience, if then you need to put more effort, like, from your end, like understanding high level issues, and some other tools, learning multiple tools. Okay, so that way you can keep 5 or 6 also. But after completing this load runner course, you can definitely say that you are 2 to 3 years experience guy on this. I mean the practice or the course content is at that level, right? So once you practice these sessions, it will help you to gain the knowledge of a 2 to 3 years experience guy. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so will you be sharing the course content PPT? Yes, I'll be sharing it, no problem. Next question is, yes, Tushar, definitely it will help you. Definitely it will help you. Okay. Uh, yeah, I'm new to this terminology, words, protocol, controller, and all. So one important point, very important point I would like to mention here is, especially for the guys coming from non-IT background. Okay, if any guys are coming from non-IT background, I will be taking 1 or 2 additional sessions on performance testing, terms and terminologies, to make them familiar with the performance testing terms and terminologies. Okay, so anyone can join those sessions, but it is specifically for non-IT guys, because they are not aware of these. They might have not heard these terms and terminologies, like a protocol or a server or response time or whatever it is, right? So they will be familiar with these terms and terminologies by those additional sessions. Okay, uh, did I answer your question, Devarkonda? Okay. Sure. I will guide you, Rahul. I will guide you the different tools that you need to learn. Uh, So I will make sure you guys attend interviews and crack the interviews easily. But the participation from your end should be there. Like I can say that, you know, that some kind of dedication should be there. Like, you know, I need to master this tool. I need to crack this, something like that. If you have that dedication, it is definitely possible. Okay. So I will guide you whenever we start working on this load runner tool. At the same time, I will address. I will help you in understanding some of the basics of other tools and what are the different tools you need to learn, right? Because we do have a couple of sessions for interviews, right? Mock interviews. So at that point of time also, I will ask you some questions, okay, and I will guide you how to answer those questions when you don't know the answer and all those things. So basically, you need to learn load runner, so one APM tool, like it could be AppDynamics or Dynatrace. AppDynamics or Dynatrace. There are different tools, but AppDynamics or Dynatrace are more familiar. So you can learn any one of the APM tool for time being. And if once you learn, let's say you learn load runner and AppDynamics, then you can learn JMeter and Dynatrace after that. So learning is a continuous activity, right? It's a never-ending process. So how much ever you learn, it is that good for you. So learn one by one. So anyhow, we are covering load runner and some high-level information about AppDynamics as well. So once you master this, you can jump onto the another tool as well. You will have classes on non-IT. No, I mean, for non-IT guys, you will have a class. You will have a class. Maybe in the first week of January, on any weekend. Probably it could be Saturday morning, Saturday same time, or any weekend, anytime. I will let you know. I will let you know 2 to 3 days prior to the session. So probably it will be in the January first week only, because the next 3-4 days we will be discussing some concepts. So some important theoretical concepts, very important theoretical concepts. So after that, I will take one session for non-IT guys first, and to make them familiar about the terms and terminologies, because anyhow they'll be attending the next 3-4 days, right? So they'll get familiar, they'll be familiarized with some of the terms and terminologies by then, and then whatever the remaining terms or terminologies are there, I will explain you again in the January first week. Yeah, yes, Naveen. In Vusion also I've executed the script, and in controller also I can execute the script. The difference is, in controller I can execute with multiple users. In Vusion I can execute only with one user. How many demo classes are there to understand the tool? So basically, I'm assuming that tomorrow and day after tomorrow, I think they will be demo sessions only. I'm assuming, because uh, because I can see one more ping from the other guy. Like they need one more demo class. So I'm assuming that tomorrow also there will be a demo session for sure. And post that, definitely you will receive the information on the same WhatsApp group, like how long the demo sessions will continue, like 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever it is. You will definitely receive the information in the WhatsApp group for how long the demo sessions might continue. So sessions will continue from tomorrow only. That is the update I have. But you will definitely receive the information in some time in the WhatsApp group. Okay. So sessions would continue from tomorrow, and the sessions are from Monday to Friday basically. Saturday and Sunday no session. Monday to Friday there will be session same time, 9 p.m. IST, and you can just convert it into your own local times if you're joining from US or any other country. No, Seema. Tomorrow's demo session will be a different concepts. Like tomorrow we will be discussing about what is a performance testing all about, and what are the different types of performance testing we have. Why do we have different types of performance testing? what are the different types of performance testing we actually do in our real-time projects. Okay, so all these things we will discuss tomorrow. So every session is unique. No concept will be repeated again and again. In sense, today's demo session concept might not be there tomorrow. Tomorrow is a total different session. Yes, Tushar. If someone is missing the session for some reason, uh, definitely I suggest them to go through the recorded session, because every day the recorded session will be shared. Even after going through the recorded session, if they have any questions, they can directly call me. Okay, I can help them understand this concept again. What is the frequency? What would be the frequency of interview call for a 3 years? You will get so many calls, Rahul. Trust me. And our Kumar sir will let you know if there is any interview anywhere, whatever the information he has with respect to with respect to the openings. Okay, he will definitely share with each and every student. Okay, he will definitely share with every student whatever the openings we know. We will share with the students. Kumar sir will help you, like when is the interview, or for whom you should send an email and all those things. If there is any known interview going around, Kumar sir will let you know. Sai, from tomorrow only classes will start. Okay, tomorrow we will be discussing about the types of performance testing. Okay. Any other questions? Um, I cannot say, Vinay, the package and all for 3 years. But what, as per my knowledge, it depends on company to company. But the basic, you can assume like 7, like 3 years, right? So 6 plus or 7 plus lakhs anywhere in IST, in Indian rupees. That's what I'm telling. Okay, so the basic can be anywhere above, anything above 6 or 7 only for 3 years. Is there any WhatsApp group for interview openings? No. Every interview opening will be shared. If there is any interview opening, Kumar sir will share the information, and you can also follow Kumar sir number. He will generally keep the status on all the openings. Okay, so you can just save the Kumar sir's number, and he will keep the status for all the openings he knows. Okay, and he will also post in some of the groups, most of the groups. But otherwise, you can just follow him. You can just view the updates, WhatsApp updates. He will just post all the interviews there. Yeah, I can ping in the group. I will ping you in the group. LR and JMeter is enough to crack for 3 years. See, for 3 years, cracking interview is easy. To be frank, as far as my knowledge, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, cracking interview is easy. It's not a big deal. So whatever the concepts you will learn, whatever the topics we cover, whatever the scripting practice you do, whatever the topics we cover, what are the interview questions we discuss, that should be sufficient to crack the interview for 3, 4, 5 years and all. Yeah, I will ping my number in the WhatsApp group. I will ping you in the same WhatsApp group. I will ping you the Kumar sir number also. See, support. See, if you are stuck somewhere, we can definitely guide you. But continuous support, and you can discuss with Kumar sir. Like if you need support for 2 or 3 months continuous and all, you can discuss with Kumar sir. But see, generally, if you have any issues or doubt, you can call and we can explain you how can we fix it and all. But other than that, if you have any queries, you can definitely reach out to me offline. I can help you, Sai. I can guide you. You can ping me one-to-one, no problem. If you know only JMeter, then is it helpful for me to? Yeah, definitely. If you know the advanced concepts, very well and good. Okay. Seema, 1 year experience salary, I cannot say as of now, because uh, it's almost like a fresher, right? So 1 year experience. So fresher is it depends again. Fresher salary. So somewhere 3+. Uh, you can assume like 3+ or 4+, something like that. Any other specific questions? So I'm assuming that I have answered all the questions whatever you have pinged in the chat window. Okay. So if you have any further questions, you can reach out to me on WhatsApp. I will ping you in the WhatsApp group now. You can definitely reach out to me directly, or you can ask your questions in the WhatsApp group. So tomorrow also we might have this session, demo session, where we'll be discussing a different topic. So you can attend those session as well. Anita ma'am will be providing you the information about tomorrow's session. So because some of you guys are asking demo session again, one more demo session, right? So that's the reason I'm answering this question. So tomorrow, whatever the session information is, Anita ma'am will provide you that.